Let's now come to the demo part of this video. We would like to demonstrate the following example. We want to use sales order, delivery, and customer invoice information as basis data sources, adapt those data sources, and later join the data in a custom data source. This serves as a basis to calculate the days between the requested date or confirmed date and the delivery date. And this results finally in a KPI, which we would like to monitor as a critical order delay on a continuous basis. In order to demonstrate this example to you, I'm logged on as the key user who has the Business Analytics Workcenter, and we are now looking at the Design Data Source Workcenter view, which allows me to see standard data sources, so sales order item, outbound delivery, as well as customer invoice data source, and allows me to create custom data sources. If you want to understand better what the standard data source include, you can either do a preview by clicking on the preview button, or you can look at the documentation, which you find here. And in case any fields are missing, you have the ability to click on adapt. So let's do it, for example, for the sales order item data source. And here you find public fields, public standard fields of the business objects, which are not yet included, or you find the ability to add and expose certain dates, which are currently as characteristics, to key figures and enable them for calculation, which we have done, for example, for the requested date in this case. So this is now made available. And with this, we can now build a custom joint data source on top of these three data sources. And let me show you an example where I can now start with the join visualization, showing me that I've joined the customer invoice item. I retrieve the related deliveries as well as the related sales order. And here I see all the different fields which I have. And based on this, I'm now able to create a report which calculates, in this case, the relevant key figures. So here we have as basis information, we have now created the delivery date, the shipment date, the requested date as key figures. And with those key figures, I can now calculate the number of days between those dates. This data forms a great basis for now further calculations. So we can create a new calculated key figure, which calculates the critical delay within a report. And then we can use this as a basis to create a KPI. To show you how simple it is, let's start with our join data source and just create a report on top. We are still in the design data source view, and we now directly get to the wizard where we call our report order delay. We now have to choose the relevant key figures which we want to add to our report. We can select the basis key figures which we have already defined in the join data source, and we have prepared one additional calculated key figure which I would like to show you, and this calculates the delay. It calculates the delta, the difference between delivery date and last confirmation date. And as I only want to calculate this critical delay once the delivery date is greater than the last confirmation date, I use a condition which returns 1 times the delta in case it's true, and in case the delivery date is lower than the last confirmation date, it's multiplied with 0 and doesn't show any critical delay. We, last but not least, have to define that our delay is calculated as an average number based on sales order, and that's done here using our OLAP engine built in by design. And with this, we can now finish this UI and finally add this key figure to our report. We then take all characteristics. We decide to add a variable. For example, the delivery month is quite important for us, as well as the delivery year. Those will appear in the selection pane. And finally, we can preview the whole thing and can work as a key user to prepare the needed selections and views which we want to give to the business users. So let's do this as a final step. So we want to choose May 2018. We want to retrieve the data for this. And in this case, we just want to drill down on account level. Let's take this. And last but not least, let's select the key figures we are interested in. So we want to compare the delivery date, max, with the last confirmation date. So here we define some key figures. And we want to see the critical delay. And so this is now showing this. We want to show a subtotal. So let's also do this. And let's last but not least choose to show an exception, which we find under key figures. And we manage an exception which we want to call critical delay. It's going on the key figure which we want. And we want to apply it both to the data as well as to the result. We want to have a backend column which always shows light yellow in case it's larger than 0. So here with this we have done an exception. We now save this view as the account view. And of course I have to make sure that also my selection is saved. So let's call this May 2018. With this, we have created a small report which now analyzes the critical delay of my sales orders aggregated by account. Of course, I can drill down on order level and see how many orders are responsible. And with this, I can analyze it deeper. But for now, I want to create a KPI, which is going against the critical delay. I create a KPI just specifically for this video so that you see what we do. So we create an open KPI. Here we have used the same selection. We have used the same account view. And last but not least, we maybe want to add a reference value. Last year we had a delay of 2. And with this we close our KPI, go into design KPI view, quickly search for video and preview the KPI, which should return 3.83. The reference is 2, and we see here a detailed explanation of this average delay by account. In order to monitor a KPI or report card on a continuous basis, you have different choices. You either can personalize it on your home overview page just for yourself, or as a key user, you can adapt a Workcenter overview page and with this distribute it to the team, meaning all people who have assigned this Workcenter overview page to their user. Let's now learn how we monitor this new KPI in the system. Here you see the final result, an example of an overview page which includes KPI and report cards. We together created a KPI in the design KPI view, which we called delay. So just for your information, I did 2 things. I had to add the report we just created together to a Workcenter view to authorize the users for it. And I a little bit improved the KPI with additional target and threshold information so that the final preview now looks like this. As a next step, we want to monitor this KPI or make it available to the team by adapting the outbound logistic control overview Workcenter page. And for this, we are entering as key user in the adaptation mode. We find the gallery on the plus button, and here we see our new KPI, which is now available. Critical delay video was it called, which we added together. So let's add this KPI to our page. We, in this example, want to make it a collapsed KPI just to be very lean. and we refresh it on an hourly basis because it's operational information. And to show you the complete picture, we also can add the same report as a report card, order delay. And for this, we choose a more comprehensive view, wider view. So let's make it wide. Let's choose the selection we have created together. We want to show it as subtitle, the account view, and also here we want to be in an hourly basis. And to see the perfect picture, we can now close the side pane. We move it on top like this. We are interested in the critical delay mostly, so we move it here. And we finally publish this page to the end users. We override their personalization so that they immediately see the result in their work center.